Good morning. This is Granison Shines from Direct Business Marketing. How are you? How are you? How are you? Well, welcome to this new edition of the Get Direct webinar series. Today we're going to continue our conversation on the marketing action plan. That's right, the marketing action plan. Now, hopefully you had an opportunity to look at the first 4 videos. This is the 5th video in this series. We went from $0 budget. We went from 0 to $500 budget, from $500 to $1,500 budget, from $1,500 to $3,000 budget per month. And today we're going to talk about a $6,000 budget per month. Now, as you progress in the marketing plans, you will find that you will increase in not only your marketing prowess, but you should also see the leads increase. So by the time you're at $6,000, you're cranking out some leads. You're about to really, you have your system internally down packed. You have leads that you have to follow up on. You're building your list. I mean, you're doing all these things that you should be doing in terms of marketing. So let's go to the next slide. Here's our handy little lead flow process, tongue twister, lead flow process. And with this lead flow process, we make sure that we always start off with 5 initial items that we're going to be using for marketing, right? From there, those 5 are directed to the Shorter Stay Calculator website because we're using this as the centralized location or the capture source. From there, it goes into the database, and that's where it's stored. That's where you're going to deliver the free report, so forth. From there, that's where the nurturing comes into play, either through the drip campaign, or I should say, and through the drip campaign, and with you calling them on the phone, right? Produce the listing, that's what we want. So next slide. Today we're going to talk about these 7 items. Now remember, you should have looked at the first 4 videos, $0 budget, $500, $1,500, and $3,000 per month budget. Work those. Make sure we continue to do those as we are progressing when we get to higher dollar value also. So from there, radio ads. Now, there's a few things that we'll talk about when we do the individual videos with the radio ads, but one of the things I want to really make sure you point out, or I point out with the radio ads, is that it must be the right station. You must have the right audience, and you must ask for the order. Now, there are some people that we work with, they have a radio show, versus some other ones we work with that have a radio commercial. Now there's a big difference between the two, and we'll talk about those more intricately later on, but the radio ads really work. It can cast a wide net of viewership, right, or I should say audio or listenership, right? From there, the leads can start pouring in, and I mean they can pour in by the drove. So you want to make sure you have your systems internally down packed, so you can make sure that all of the workings within your system flow accordingly to how you're going to nurture and get the listing. Okay. So from there, TV ads. TV ads are another good one to cast a wide net of viewership. So TV is a really good way to start making sure that you produce leads. And there are some TV ads can be very expensive to very cheap, depending on if you're going to advertise on a major network or a cable network. Again, we'll talk about all these different nuances. And it is going to be different per market. Now remember that. Now I get the question all the time, what kind of leads will I get? Well, I don't know, honestly, because it's very market dependent. That's the research that you have to do, and we can help you out and talk to you about it. Right questions you should ask if you're going to be doing radio and TV ads. But understanding that those 2 mediums cast a very wide net. We're talking potentially millions of users or listeners, viewers, whichever medium you use. And it can produce some really good results. So don't neglect that. Again, we're talking about $6,000 budget per month, not just for this one thing. It could be, but it depends on the station. There's a lot of little nuances there that could either suck up the whole $6,000 or just take a portion of that. And then you have monies to do other things that we're talking about today. Now, billboards. Billboards are good. Now, if we're not designing your billboard, which we can, and depending on the package, we will design your billboard. But the billboard must be very simple and very quick. Remember, people are driving, walking, riding their bike or whatever, and they can see that from the freeway, from the side, the frontage roads or whatever. But we want to make sure that it's very simple. That's why the shorter the URL, the better. If it has the keyword phrase in it, adding your picture, your face to it, all those little things help. but this is something that we, this is something that we do. I mean, we make these banner ads and billboards, and so having that information very, very simple for them to see is just going to work out much, much better for you from terms of marketing. Number 5. So we're going to talk about expanding your pay-per-click to include YouTube ads. Did you know that YouTube has pay-per-click ads? Well, why is that? Well, Google owns YouTube. They're going to institute the same sort of technique and process over YouTube. And so you can also have YouTube ads that get your videos viewed, right? You have your channel. It's just like when you go to Google and you do a search. Well, it's the same thing with YouTube. You'll see ads at the top and you see ads on the right side there, okay? And then expanding your farming with your printed materials. So now you want to cast a little bit wider net with the printed materials, print out a little bit more and work that area, farm that area to make sure you cultivate that particular area when we're farming, okay? So this is something you can institute from a non-internet or an offline marketing technique that will continuously produce leads for you, and just making sure you track everything, right? We have the tracking codes. And then number 7, when advertise on high profile industry websites like Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, you can even narrow those down depending on which one you're talking about. You can narrow those down to specific zip codes that you want to market into. So there's a lot of nuances there that will help you get leads and that will help you cultivate and market in the area that you want to market. Now remember, it's all about how you're going to demonstrate your expertise. Remember, they want somebody that is going to be that trusted advisor, and your marketing has to do this. They want that value added in advance. That's what the shorter stay calculator is for, to give them that free report, right? You want to make sure that we do that, and they want an adequate solution. The free report and you following up, nurturing the lead will help them understand whether or not a short sale may be right for them. Here's my contact information, Granish and Shines, Direct Business Marketing. Feel free to email with any questions you may have. I look forward to talking with you next week, and we may continue to drill down on some of the other topics here that we discussed. All right, thank you very much, and I will talk to you later.